portfolio management system allows you to create assignments, collect work from students digitally, have all of that stuff be really well organized and accessible both for you as a teacher to look back at student work from earlier in the year, and for students to have their work easily accessible and organized. There's a lot of easiness of feedback that you can give to students through Google Classroom, as well as their ability to communicate to each other outside of class. So in terms of walking through, I thought we would just look at my Google Classroom. So it looks pretty straightforward. Folder for every class. Some of the classes are the same, just multiple sections. So adding a class is really easy. Oops, I meant to add a class. So if I make a class for the MTBOS, it is now done. So I have to actually do it correctly, you know, that's important. Sorry, technical difficulties, always our thing. Here we go. Creating what the class will actually look like when it first is created is pretty much a blank slate. There's not a ton of options, which for some people, you know, might be a negative. For me, it's a positive because it means it's super easy to use. It's just basically a stream. Everything that you create is chronologically in the stream. There's two options for things you can make. You can either make announcements or assignments. Announcements are just things that you'd like to say to your class, like, hey, we have a quiz tomorrow. Hey, don't forget to bring blah to blah. And students are default, when they sign up for this, they will get an email. They can have it linked to like a phone notification. It's just a communication you're giving to them. You can also make attachments, whether you want to upload a file, link to a Google document, or something from Google Drive. You can insert a YouTube clip or video, and then you can also make an external link. You can also share an announcement or assignment with multiple classes, so any class that exists, you can share the same thing with them. And when you make an announcement, you say, hey, welcome to class. You can either save it as a draft and then post it later, or you can post it immediately, and then it becomes part of the stream. So everything is there chronologically, and so students can just scroll back through previous things. When you make an announcement, or an assignment rather, it's really, really similar. The only difference being that you set a due date, and then you can also make a time for when it's due. Every time you make an assignment, Google creates a folder in your drive. It already makes a folder for that class where every assignment lives. When students submit their work, that work goes automatically in the folder, so that later, if I want to find student work, I can just go into Drive and see every single student's work. So to kind of show you the different views of classes that I already have. So the two main views, I can look at a specific class. So here's my 10th grade class from this past year. There's assignments, there's announcements, there's kids posting things. So students can post resources or share things with each other and then comment on each other's posts. You can turn that off if you don't want your kids doing that, but I found that to be really helpful. There's also, for every assignment, I can see who has turned it in and who has not turned it in. And when I look at who has turned in, I can also see who has done on time or not. So this is all the work for this particular assignment. I can see this kid has not turned it in. This kid turned it in on time. This kid turned it in late. I can see exactly when it was turned in. And here's the work that they did. What's that?
Is it a picture?
So yeah, so they can either submit videos, they can submit images, they could submit Google documents of any type. So because it's math, most of the time I have them just take a picture of their work. So they either do that with their phone. The Google Classroom exists as an app on a phone. It's a free app you can download. And then they take a picture, they just upload it through an app. Or our students have laptops, so they can also just hold it up to their laptop and take a picture with their computer. And so I can look through their work. I can also return work. So here I can either return all of the students' work, like I can select all of them, return every student's work and just write like a general comment. I can return an individual student's work and write them a comment. I can also track comments. If they're resubmitting work, I'll be able to see all the history of all the comments I've made for them and all the revisions that they've made. Let's see what else I'm just show you here. The other view here that's really handy is I can just go to assignments only, and this shows assignments for all my classes that I've given, just assignments, not announcements. I can look at it on all classes. I can look at it for a particular class. And within each assignment, I can go through and see who's done the work, who's not done the work. I can look within each specific assignment. And then in Drive, I can also access this. This is a little bit easier because it's just more colorful and easy to find. But I can also do the exact same thing I'm doing right now, but in my Google Drive, just looking in the folders. It's super easy. I definitely like it in terms of the benefits. using Google Classroom. Everything's in one place, especially if a lot of teachers are using it. So the way it worked out is almost all the 10th grade teachers ended up using Google Classroom this past year. So for a student, when they go to their home screen, they have a list of their assignments in every single class. They have a list of folders, one for each class that they're enrolled in, whose teacher is using Google Classroom. It's one single place. Everything is searchable, so they can search the stream, they can search their Google Drive for a particular assignment. Every time they submit an assignment, Google automatically adds their name to the assignment. So when I search for a kid's name, every assignment that kid has turned into me shows up in my Google Drive. It's accessible on their phone, accessible on their computer. It lives in the cloud, so they can access it anywhere. There's no more lost homework. There's no more wondering, I wonder what they did on a similar assignment that I gave earlier in the year. Well, let me just actually go look, and I can see what they did. So it allows me to kind of track a student's progress over a longer period of time. We're talking about moving to portfolios next year. My first thought was, well, they kind of already have one because they actually do have a folder that lives in Google Drive and it has all their work. To make a portfolio, it would be such an easy step given that they already have copies of everything. It integrates really well, obviously, with lots of Google apps like Drive and YouTube and anything else that's Google related. And for me personally, I'm a super disorganized person. I would like have stacks of papers and like that stack is graded, that stack is partially graded, that stack I've started grading and I've handed back some things but not quite yet. There's no more papers. I didn't have a single paper that I collected last year. Every single homework assignment was submitted digitally to me, returned digitally to a student. Nothing to lose or collect or drag back and forth between school and home. Cons, it definitely, if you're the only person using it, you still get your own personal benefit. It's still organized for you. It's not as easy for the student. It still needs to then look in multiple places. Also, right now, they don't have a way for you to be able to look up the assignments of a particular student other than just by searching for their name. And I was told that they're working on that over the summer, so hopefully that'll be easier in the future. And their grading options are pretty limited. It's just points. So if you do SPG, I just set it to no grade and I just write comments. Or sometimes I'll attach a separate rubric for students, but there's no way to, within Google Classroom to do any sort of SPG grading. And the other thing I'm not a big fan of is that there's no folders. Everything is a single stream, like all your announcements, all your assignments, just chronologically. There's no way to say, I want everything that has to do with this unit in one place. Hopefully those last two things I'm working on, but even as is, I think it's pretty cool. So feel free to chat with me if you're interested in learning more. Otherwise, that's it. Yeah.